Dr. Laura Berman. This is Love Notes, and I get a lot of questions from you about my beloved newest book, Quantum Love. I got a really good one that I get often from people about grief, because a lot of what inspired Quantum Love was my own journey with the just body-rattling pain and grief of losing my mom, and then what happened after that, which I write about in the book. But the question this week was, I'm grieving, I've had a big loss, and I am overwhelmed by the pain, right? And we've all been there, whether it's a heartbreak or an illness or a tragedy, where it almost feels like those tsunami waves of pain could just drown you. And all we want to do is run from it, distract ourselves from it, feel better, right? Well, one of the biggest lessons I learned from Quantum Love was that you can't go around pain, you can't go under it, you can't go over it. I mean, you can for a time, you can keep it at bay. But if you really want to heal and live the love life and the happy life that you deserve, you gotta go through it. So, we're gonna do a little reading moment, and I'm gonna read to you just a little blurb, a part of what I wrote in this chapter in Quantum Love, because it really describes what I'm talking about that happened the first time that I went all the way into the pain. Going all the way into my grief led me to my first deep adult spiritual epiphany. It felt like I was spiraling down a drain, but all of a sudden, after about 30 seconds, I felt filled with light, in a place of pure peace and nothingness. It was the kind of emptiness, but an emptiness that wasn't at all empty. It was filled, and I was surrounded by intense pure love. In quantum terms, we're all one, made of the same energy. Energy never dies, and nor would the energy, in this case, of my mother's essential self. So what had happened here was that I was having these gut-wrenching, stomach-dropping waves of pain after my mother died, which happens to a lot of us with grief, where you're just walking around and all of a sudden you forget for a second and, whoo, oh my God, she's gone, right? Or, oh my gosh, I'm getting divorced, or whatever it is that's causing you pain. It keeps washing over you. And what I did in this moment, because I called up one of my teachers, I said, what do I do? Like, I can't function. These waves keep coming and I try to keep them at bay and it doesn't work. And she said, okay, go all the way into the pain. Find a time, and I'll tell you how to do that in a second. Go all the way in, don't fight it. Let yourself drop all the way into the pain. And this is what I discovered, is that when I went all the way into the pain and I let myself go all the way there, it was like I came out of vortex to the other side. And it was this beautiful connection where I knew that everything was going to be okay, where I could feel the light, I could feel the love, in this case of my mother and that connection to her. And I didn't have those tsunami crazy waves of pain anymore, because it's what I'm always telling you, that which you can't be with will run your life. And if you can let yourself go through this, I promise you it will be worth it. It won't solve all your problems to let yourself feel one time, right? You gotta often feel your feelings, especially those feelings that aren't fun. But when you can, not only does it not swallow you up, it doesn't take you over. An authentic feeling, if you really allow it to go and to pass through you, because that's all a feeling is, an emotion, energy in motion. If you let that pass through you, it only takes 30 seconds to a couple of minutes. And here's what you do, okay? And I spell this out as well. When going through a particularly tough time in your life, when your emotions feel out of control, it's crucial for your mind and body not to squelch them. Okay, so first, when that happens, take some deep breaths, close your eyes, ground yourself. Now, here's a good key. You may be in a situation where you can't break down. You're at work or something else. So after those deep breaths, visualize a kind of container. It can be a Tupperware container, a glass jar, I don't care. But it has to have a lid. And then say to yourself, I am putting these feelings in this container to come back to at this appointed time, and make an appointment with yourself. So for me, I'd be working and this would happen, and I would visualize my container, which for me was like a big bell glass jar, and like in an apothecary. And I would say, I'm gonna put these feelings and the energy of those feelings in this jar until 8 p.m. tonight, when I can, in the safety of my own little cuddly bed, feel them, right? Or in the privacy of my own home. And you have to keep that appointment. You can't keep blowing off your appointments with yourself to feel, as tempting as that is. So at that appointed time, once you've honored that appointment, and don't get sneaky, you want to go to a place that feels really safe and cozy. Make a nest of pillows for yourself, someplace where you're private. Ground yourself again, and if you go to drlauraberman.com, you can find all sorts of grounding meditations there. But ground yourself again, and then just do you don't even have to think about what upset you earlier. All you have to do, because I promise those feelings are still there, is scan your body for any sensations. And you'll notice, especially if it's grief or pain, you'll have tightness in your chest or in your belly, sometimes in your back. Just put all of your conscious attention on those sensations without thought. Just breathe into them and let them get bigger. And immediately, emotion will want to come. All you're doing is letting yourself continue. You're not trying to think it through. You're not trying to attach any stories to it. You're just feeling. You're crying. You're screaming into a pillow. You're pounding something. Whatever wants to happen, you are letting it pass. You are letting it move through you. And you will discover that it moves through you and moves you out and through the pain. And I cannot tell you how powerful it is. So I want you to try it and let me know how it goes. If you're struggling with grief or pain or loss or anything you can't be with, remember, the only way around it is to go through it, my friends. And I'm here with you every step of the way on Love Notes with Dr. Laura Berman.